Hey, and welcome to another great day. I hope you're well. I hope you are winning. I hope you are enjoying yourself wherever you are with your family. I pray that all is well with you and that you are smiling. The whole idea of what we do is to put a smile on your face and get you excited and get you buzzing. My name is Ronnie Jacobs. I'm the presenter of the Ronnie J Show. And our vision and our mission and our aim and our objective and everything we're aiming to do is to motivate you and encourage you to achieve your dream, to motivate you, to educate you to achieve your dream. Whatever dream you may have, be it in your family, be it at work, be it your business, in your projects, whatever it is you set your heart to do, set your heart to achieve, whatever it is that passion that's burning in you, that's why we're here. The vision is to bring a lot of professionals that can talk to you, professionals that can use their examples and their true life stories to say, listen, I've done this before, and because I've done this before, I'm going to use my experience to give you some ideas, and using those ideas, you can take from that. Today we're talking about marketing. We're talking about target marketing to be precise. How do you reach your customer? What is target marketing? How do you target your customers? How do you get those people to come to your program or your show or your shop or your event or your business or whatever it is that you're setting your heart to do? How do you position yourself? How do you target them? I was going to say position, but position is a different aspect. Okay, so we'll talk about that on a different topic. But today we're talking about target marketing. And to do that, we've got some amazing guests. We've got Esther, we've got Chooks, we've got Chris, we've got Sarah, and then we've got an introductory of Kabat. Kabat is a filmmaker, but we've introduced him to our series so that he can just talk to us and then we can enlighten you all later on some things that we can learn together. Don't forget that the aim of what we're doing is so that we can learn, educate each other. I'm learning. Trust me, I'm learning so much. I mean, from the health thing, I learned a lot. I'm taking some water and I'm now drinking so much water. I went for a run today, started my 12-week program to run. And I got some friends on board, and that's exciting. Although I'm feeling a bit funny though. So since I started change my routine, I'm feeling a bit kind of funny. I suppose that's my body reacting to no coffee and loads of water and proper breakfast at proper time. But I think I need to sleep more. I think that's the part I need to crack now. I need to try and go to bed early, not this 4 hours, 5 hours sleep. Maybe at least six hours sleep. I don't know. The health people out there, leave a comment and tell me how long I should sleep so we can learn together. Okay, before we call our first guest, I just want to talk about the five whys. One of the five whys is what. For example, you got the who, what, where, when, why, and where, what, why, when. That's it. And which area. So now, who are your customers? You need to be able to know who your customers are. For example, if we're using demographics, you can say, okay, my customers are, I don't know, men. Okay, my customers are men. I'm targeting men. And that's very general. So that's where the other whys come in. Okay, where? These men that you're targeting, where do they live? Where do they work? Okay, you're targeting men. Okay, where do they work? That's the second W. Where do they live? And then you can now say, okay, I'm targeting men who live in London. It's still a bit vague, but we're still breaking down. Then you ask yourself again with a what question. What do these people do? The men that you're targeting who live in London, what do they do? For example, you can now say to yourself, okay, I want to target men who live in London that work in finance. So you can see now that you're gradually breaking down your target market. So it's no longer I want to sell to everybody. It's now I want to sell to men who live in London and they're working in finance. And then you ask yourself the next question, why? Why should these people buy from you? So you have to find out why should they buy from you? And then that's where your research comes. You want to now start researching, okay, these men who live in London and work in finance, they like XYZ. That's the fifth why I'm bringing into this introduction, which is, what do they like? You've identified, yes, they work in finance, but what do they like? What do they enjoy? What do they really want? You've identified that, and then you got your five whys, and then you can now ask yourself, I know I'm targeting men. I know that they live in London. I know that they like playing golf. I know that they will love my product. How am I going to reach these people? That's where the H comes in. How am I going to reach them? So you've identified who your customers are, where's their location, where do they live, what do they like, how are you going to reach them? Okay, we're going to go over this again. So just we'll quickly call our first guest. But as we go along, we're going to talk more about our the five whys, and then we're going to talk about the 8 Ps, which is like a marketing tool that is used to market a product. How are you going to market your product? That's another interesting, very, very interesting a topic for us to learn today. I hope this connects. This gentleman is way far away in Africa, in Nigeria. And sometimes the network is a bit funny. You can't really get through. So I'm hoping that we connect together. But if not, we can crack on. Okay, I think the network is not connecting. Right, okay. So having said that, we'll talk about, there we go. Let's talk about the 8 Ps. Let's look at some of the 8 Ps. In marketing, there are different acronyms and different ways, things that you can learn. So, but just for us, I'm going to look at just the basic things that you can pick up from this show. That at least you can educate you. Even if we talk about 4 of them, even if we have time to just discuss 4 of them, because these are the things that I try to implement that helps me in what I do. So it is better that as we're having this conversation, I'm also trying to impact onto you the knowledge and the wisdom that I have also acquired that is helping me. It might benefit you, it might not benefit you, but at least you can take away from that what 1 or 2 things that can help you. Let's talk about, for example, in marketing, we one of the 8 Ps is the product. I put that first because what is it you're going to sell? Remember, we talked about you've got all these people. You now know who they are. You've done your research. You know who they are, where they are, what they like, and how you're going to sell to them. But now the first question you want to ask yourself: what am I selling? What is the product that I'm going to sell to these people? Does it match their choices? Does it match what they want? It is a waste of resources if you don't match your product together when you're marketing your product. You have to match the people who are your customers with your product. You look one side and you bring them together. Another phase is the place. Where are you going to do this marketing? Where the place? Where are you? Well, first of all, where are you located? Yeah, and where are your customers located? Can they reach you? Can they get to your product? Is your product going to be online? Is your product going to be in one particular venue? If you're located in one particular venue, it doesn't make sense, and you're not selling online, it doesn't make sense for you to market your product to somebody who lives 200 miles away. It doesn't connect. So what is your location? How much are you taking advantage of your local community? We tend to spend a lot of time and a lot of energy in marketing online and on social media, which is great. We'll talk about that later on, because one of the 8 Ps is promotion. But it's very important that you take advantage of your local community. What are you doing within your local community? Have you saturated your local community with your product or your service? Or you're just not looking at your local community, but you're looking at your comfort zone, where you're comfortable, where you've kind of built some audience. So you want to continue building around those audience. You don't want to expand into your local community. You'll be amazed how much market you have in your local community. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with looking at international market or national market or opening your scope of market. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't just ignore your local community. Okay, amazing. All right, first we're gonna crack on. We're gonna call on Sarah, the amazing lady who I've known her for quite a while, and she's very, very, very supportive and very, very. She actually speaks for Toastmasters, and she introduced me to Toastmasters, and I had a great time when I was there. I remember.
Hi, Ronnie.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm buzzing, man. You're live on there, and I was just telling everybody how you introduced me to Toastmasters, and I really enjoyed it.
Good.
Amazing. Please just tell our audience a little bit about yourself, and then we can continue with the subject matter.
So, my name's Sarah Gilfillan, and my company's called Sartorial Lab, and I'm a personal stylist and personal shopper for men specifically.
Amazing. So, how do you Okay, first question is, how do you reach men? I mean, that's the first question I want to ask.
How do I reach men?
Yeah, how do you reach men to buy your product?
Well, generally, I just put out content that's relevant for them. So I'm always talking. So I make sure that I don't talk about stuff to do with women. I don't talk about women's fashion. Okay. So I do specifically things that are targeted towards men. So yeah, I do have some female clients, but I do all my marketing is directly aimed at men. So all my blog posts and everything. So I think sometimes you see with some people's content that they say they work with men, and then you go to their website and there's a picture of some high heels. And so if I was a guy, I'd probably click straight off that. So yeah, so I make sure it is all specifically for them.
So if I may ask, for those who are watching, so they can also learn how you do that. I mean, number one, what motivated you to go into marketing just men out clothes?
So before I started doing personal styling, I was styling on photo shoots, and I ended up working. Well, I was assisting a menswear stylist, and so I ended up doing a lot of menswear, and I kind of decided that would be my niche there because I really liked menswear. And weirdly, that I realised. Before, like quite a long time ago, my mum used to have a second-hand clothes shop, and I used to sort of collect up like bits and pieces, and things like old men's like dress shirts and top hats and bowler hats, and it all seemed to be around. I remember having like an old tailcoat and stuff like that. And sometimes I would try and incorporate it into what I wore, but generally I wouldn't necessarily wear it. I just liked it, and I think it was that kind of. That history that menswear is kind of rooted in, because it sort of seems to have more purpose maybe than women's, or there's sort of certain things that carry through with menswear. So I suppose that's kind of really where it came from, but it was really because I was doing it in the photographic industry. I was kind of styling men then, and then I realised that actually there was hardly anyone that were aiming at men, because I think when you think about shopping and styling and clothes, you automatically think, oh, that's a girl's thing, a woman's thing. But actually, I think the whole point is that a lot of guys don't necessarily like shopping, and that's why they come to me, because they don't really want to go shopping themselves, or they don't know what they're doing. So they come to somebody
I am number one in that, you know.
Are you a potential client?
It's so hard. I wouldn't know where to start. I have to what's my collar size? I have to ask that 1,000,000 times, and I'll still get to the shop.
Oh, really?
And I'll still ask again. Hey, what's my collar size again?
Oh well, there we go. You can. I always liken it to if I'm going to go and buy some sort of electrical goods or something. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, and I need a personal shopper for that. Because I don't really have the inclination to sort of read up and do all the research and everything. So just getting someone to help you out to do it is really useful. So yeah.
With all your marketing tools that you're using at the moment, which one would you say is working best for you to reach these men?
Oh, difficult. Well, I suppose probably blogging I would say, is the thing that helps the most. So nearly all of my clients come directly from my website. So I think it's probably the things that I'm talking about and blogging about on my website are the things that have the most impact. I've just got a client directly through Instagram Instagram, which is something that I've been sort of working on more recently. But I think it's the blogging and the kind of information that I give on there that draws people towards me and probably comes up in the search engines as well when they're searching for an answer to a problem they've got, then they get led to me. So, yeah, I would say that's it. Just sort of answering questions, talking about things that sometimes I use questions that clients have asked me, while we're on a shopping trip or while we're doing their wardrobe. Then I'll answer a question that I think, that's something that maybe I hadn't necessarily thought people need help with, but they've asked me. So I thought that could be useful for other people as well. Or it could be, where to find specific sizes for things. So one of the most read blog posts that I've got is, where's my trousers if you've got chunky thighs? So, clearly a lot of guys are doing squats or something, or cycling. It's quite funny. I don't know why that came up, but because I had a couple of guys in quick succession, sort of within a couple of weeks of each other, who had really big thighs, and as the fashion had gone like really skinny on the bottom half, it's changing now, but I think they were all having real problems finding trousers to fit, and clearly other people were too. So it's just taking those things that one person asks you and thinking, probably if they've got that problem, then there's likely to be other people that have the same problem too. So helping them out like that.
Yeah, it looks like you're looking at different kind of niche markets and trying to get your brand into those markets and talking about what they're talking about. That's the feeling I'm getting. Like you're looking at problems, solving problems for people through your marketing, kind of. Yeah,
and I do try and keep it quite sort of tight on what I'm, the sort of thing I'm talking about, the way that I'm talking about it, so I'm attracting the right sort of people to me. Because I mean, even with like price points, like sometimes I'll come across something. So what I normally do is put images of things from other people's websites and links to those. But sometimes I'll come across, a sweater that's sort of way above the sort of price that I might spend with a client. Like, so if I sort of think, if I was in a situation in a shop with a client, would I be saying to them, you must buy this jumper for £1,000 or something? And I'm thinking, no, probably I'm not going to. Maybe it's sort of, yes, I might say to them, buy one for £300, whatever, depending on the client, but I probably wouldn't, even if I thought they did have lots and lots of money, I probably wouldn't be telling them. So I do sort of try and keep it quite specific like that on my website, the sort of thing that I'm recommending, the sort of thing that I'm talking about. I do try and really think, if I had a client in front of me, would I be saying this to them? And also in the sort of tone of voice as well that I use, which I think that's quite important, because weirdly, when you're writing a blog post or writing social media posts, something it's quite easy to go off on a tangent, and sometimes I have to sort of go back and reread it and think, well, if I was explaining to that with somebody in front of me, would I use those words? And actually I think, no, I wouldn't. That's not language that I normally use. So I think it's really it's kind of important, because it also, then you have that kind of feel throughout your brand, that sort of brand voice. Or if you're if you're kind of fun and stuff, and lots of people say it's fun going shopping, even men. So I think it's good if that comes across in your social media as well. So all your marketing. So it's kind of a consistent brand.
Yeah. So how do you know?
Say, well, that's really important.
Yeah. Sorry. So how do you know what is not working for you? Have you had that thought?
What's not working for me?
Yeah.
I guess if people just bypass it, or sometimes I've put products out there. I think when I first started, there was certain people that I thought would be interested in the product, so I had something. I thought, weirdly, that I'd get a lot of single guys that would be coming to me, and I think I'd say the majority of my clients are married. I am working with a dating agency actually at the moment, or a dating kind of like a dating coach, I suppose you'd call them. Okay. But I tend to think sometimes the guys don't know they need help until they're woman or their wife or girlfriend sometimes might tell them or buy them a gift voucher.
Yeah.
So that's something that maybe didn't work as well. And actually niching down sort of too far, like I was trying like a wedding thing. So I do take a few people shopping for their weddings, but when I put a specific package on my website for that, that wasn't necessarily something that was sort of super popular. It's just I think with mine, although it's quite specific in the fact that I generally help men usually between the ages of, say, sort of mid-30s to kind of 50s. It's nearly always with smart casual, but it's usually for general kind of updates, their whole wardrobe, rather than a specific event, I would say.
All right, amazing.
So
it's funny. Sorry, I have to cut you. The 10 minutes time just goes so quick. And before you know it, the time just flies. You know, it's been amazing talking to you. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Okay, thanks for having me on.
No problem at all. And I'll leave your comments in the below until at least our audience can get in touch with you. Thank you so much and hope to hear from you again.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, dear.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good day. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Amazing. So we're using life experiences to talk about what is working for you and what is not working for you, and how you can make some changes and how you can make adjustments. And the whole essence is, if you listen to what people are doing and then find out what works for them, it is better that way. So that way you can learn from their example, and then we can all grow together. I mean, that's what I think, because no one person knows everything. Everybody's trying to. Hi, I'm calling our next gentleman. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Ronnie, how is it?
I am buzzing. Thank you so much. You're live on air. Thanks for having you all the way from Nigeria.
Wow, that's great.
Amazing.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Yeah. You're welcome. Please introduce yourself, and then we can crack on.
Oh, I'm Chris. I'm Onovughe. I actually work in the humanitarian department. I work with. I currently work with LAC. It's Lift Above Cancer. It's an organization here in Nigeria that takes care of the less privileged in the society. So we work in communities. We've been doing a lot of jobs in different communities in Nigeria. Our presence is equally in East Africa. We've been doing a lot in Kenya, in Uganda, and some other places. Amazing. So currently we try to see how we can give service to humanity. That's what we do.
Well done. Today we're talking about marketing and how to reach your customers and how to reach the people that can support. So basically from your end, you'll be looking at how to reach funders and people to support, and how are you able to market your organization to people that can fund or support your organization?
Okay, that's a great one. I think I want to start by saying we have to look at what your market audience or the target audience is.
Correct.
And if you look at that, it has to do with what you do and what you want to give out.
Correct.
So like a target market definition, it's a specific group of people you want to reach with your marketing message. They are the people who are most likely to buy your products or services, and they are united by some common characteristics like demographics and behavior. So if you have situations like that, like what I currently do, we look out for those that are very vulnerable when it comes to health issues, income, those that are physically challenged, and a lot of things. So those are the kind of people we look out for. So those are what actually the kind of services we give out. We look out for these people, and we know what they want, and we give them those services.
So how do you now get because we're looking at I also want to add, thanks for that, I just wanted to add another side, a different angle to what you were saying. By providing those services, I'm sure you need funding, I'm sure you need money. So within your organization, within the people in your country and in your state, how do you market your charity to them so that they can support you in a way? Or how would you suggest to
Oh
do that?
yeah, in marketing, you have about 4 generic target marketing strategies, and it has to do with undifferentiated marketing. This may be you look at the people you want to actually reach out to. But before you think of these people you are going to reach out to, how are you going to fund it? How the resources you need to reach out to these people? So you need these people, these other people that will give you that support. And that's what we do. We reach out to them. Whatever we do, we try to make it known to communities. We involve community heads, local government, so that they'll be aware that these are happening in their communities. And when they know that such things are happening in their communities, they help market that, we have this NGO group here. They are doing this, they are doing that, and they've done a lot in our communities. That is one way we actually get exposed to the other people. Then when we want to do things, we partner. We work with like oil companies in Nigeria. We've done a lot with NMPP. We've done a lot with Panocean. We've done a lot with some other organizations. And they have been able to understand that, one, we have integrity, because whatever we want to do, we go right out and do it. And actually we deliver in such cases. So I think when we want to work, we partner with people who we know will give us the necessary support to be able to give those services.
I like that. So how do you decide who to partner with? Do you have like criterias that you work with that guides you to know, okay, we are a charity, we're doing XYZ. We don't want to go partner with an alcohol manufacturing company or a cigarette manufacturing company. How do you define who you partner with and who you work with?
Okay, there are some organizations, both governmental and non-governmental, that are into different services when it comes to giving humanitarian services. So those are the ones we look out for. You have those that are specifically assigned to this or do that. But in Nigeria, we look out for those that are into health, into education, into medicals and things like that. Those are the ones we look out with, and we partner with them. Then we have our big brother out there in the Western world, in the UK and things, that actually gives us the support, and they do what they have to do to be able to support us with the finance that we need to be able to actually give service to the local communities here.
Amazing. So well done. If you were going to use this platform to advise organizations like yours, what advice would you give them to be able to market their charity, to be able to get funding? Any advice, any tips that you can give them?
I want our organization, like we have those that we partner over there in the UK, in the US. I want them to actually meet with this organization and tell them what we do. We have a lot of things. We have our website. They can look at our website and see what we do. We have updates, daily updates of what we do, and that will be able to tell them that, yes, this organization is serious. They are doing something, and if they reach out to this platform to say, okay, this is what these people do, we want to actually see how we can come into helping them. That means we are trying to actually expose ourselves more to the international community. And if that is happening, it means that those that we partner with in the US, in the UK, should be able to link with this platform and talk more about what we do here in Africa, so that people of good heart can actually come and say, let's give support to these people. They are doing a lot.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having you, Chris. Always a pleasure, and I wish you all the best and continue your good work.
Ronnie, I have to tell you that you are doing great. I don't know how to appreciate you. You are a great guy. Whenever I like your pages every day. It's just like I'm following you religiously. That's just the word. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was amazing. That's amazing. Wow. Okay. We're still on the topic of marketing and targeting your customers. We talked about, before we call our next guest, I just want to quickly remind you, we talked about who are your customers. You need to know who your customers are. What do they like? Where do they live or where do they work? Why should they come to you? When is the best time to sell to them? I've given you 5 whys there. Those 5 whys, once you put them all together, then you can develop a strategy of how to engage your customers. Until you put these together, you can't just start marketing and spending money just like that. Trying to reach everyone, trying to engage everyone, and trying to be, the jack of all trades. If you do that, you're just going to waste so much money. Okay, we're going to come back to that in a minute, because at the end of the show, if you want to call in, you can always call in. You can call in on Facebook, or you can call us direct. Our next guest is the amazing Esther. Esther always fills me with information, and the more I talk to Esther, I must say, the more impressed I am in what she does. The calmness at which she just communicates that information. It's as if, let me get you. Let me get hold of you first before I over talk myself. Well done. Thank you all so much. Please support our channel. If you haven't already, go to YouTube and click the subscribe button so you can follow our channels and support us in all that we do. We just want to educate and motivate you all so that you can continuously grow. We grow together and we communicate. Hi, Esther. You're welcome. You're live on air. How are you?
Hi, Ronnie. I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I am buzzing, man.
Happy Wednesday.
I know. I'm just telling my audience that the more I speak to you, the more I'm seeing a different side of you.
Really?
I know.
I hope it's a good side. Oh my God, you cracked me up.
It's a very good side. You're very calm in the way you articulate your knowledge. It's just like, wow, this is like...
I don't know if it's the teacher in me. I'm sorry. That's what I used to do prior. My profession was as a primary school teacher. So I don't know whether those attributes have come into my everyday. So that's a good thing, I think.
Amazing. Please tell our listeners and audience about you first, please.
Oh, hi guys. How you doing? Hope you're all safe and well. My name's Esther. I'm a business owner. I own an essential health, wellness, and beauty business. It's online based, and basically I show people how to become financially free and to take control of what you spend and how you spend it, and to create a residual income. So known as a shopping annuity. So that's basically what I do. So
fantastic.
That's me, I think.
Okay. Today we're talking about how to reach your customers and target marketing. So how do you reach your customers?
I mean, honestly, there's two kinds of markets. There's cold and warm markets. For those that don't really know, a cold is when you're just approaching somebody, like maybe you go on Facebook and you just say, hi, a warm is somebody you already know. So I tend to go into a warm market because I know a lot of people and I don't necessarily know a lot about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is a perfect opportunity. Like I said, everything I do always starts from a relationship. So it's always great to just catch up on friends, just say, hi, how are you doing? What's happening? And somehow conversation always seems to change into what's going on with them or if there's things happening as well. So that's kind of one way which I do it. The other way, because I do use online, like the social media quite a lot. And the other way to do it is maybe targeting, I don't know, it could be young moms. And right now, they probably, they don't want to be carrying children running around things. I know they're allowed to get out. Or, just basic things like baby wipes and stuff like that. So you target certain markets and just think, okay, what is it that people are needing right now? Okay, and then some of the time I just focus on, okay, I want to reach like maybe the millennials and the younger people, because right now they're thinking, look at what's happening to our economy. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm studying, So I kind of break it down into different groups. And I thought we teach something known as talking in themes. So depending on who I'm speaking with as well, I just tailor it to them. So I hope that kind of answers that question.
Yeah, you kind of beat me to that actually, because I was going to ask you.
I'm so sorry.
No,
Did I
that's
drop
good. It's
my head
good.
again?
Now, because when you talked about targeting different segments of the market, I was going to say, do you communicate the same message to everybody? Yeah, go on.
No, carry on. I thought you had something else to
No,
say.
if I ask
Okay.
more, I might answer the question. So I'm trying not to
Okay.
answer.
Okay. So, I communicate it slightly differently depending on who I'm speaking to. If I'm speaking to a stay-at-home mom, I would be speaking to them slightly different as if I was speaking to a business owner, because it would depend, especially on what that business owner was looking for, or what and the way in which that conversation then progressed. So definitely, I tailor it to each person I am speaking to. And that's why having a health, wellness, and beauty business is great, to be able to talk in different themes, because somebody could be talking to you about their health one day, and somebody could be talking to you the next day about an injury, or they're talking about, or they want, something for their hair, because that's what, and or right now it's hair and flower. I know it's to extent, but as I was about to say, I'm looking for hair products right now for my hair. As little as it is, there is hair there, but I need hair products. And
I
so
know
I'm
all the
having to
barbershops are
find,
closed. It's
I'm
just like
finding, trying to find the stores that have the hair products for me,
yeah.
you know. And then the other one is flour, and I know it's very little, silly little things, but we're also an online store where you can go to all these thousands of places. So
You've
depending on
got flour.
you go to a shop online, yeah, they will have flour for you.
Ah,
So
okay.
you can find us, Planet Organic. You can get flour in there.
Okay.
It's a partner store. So on
Okay.
my on the store as well, you've got partner stores,
Ah,
like
okay.
Marks and stuff like that. I don't want to
Ah,
name names,
yes, yes,
obviously,
yes, yes,
you
yes.
know. So there's places you can go and purchase these things online,
Mm.
and that relieves having to go out. But I needed fresh air today as well, so
Mm.
I used the opportunity to get a few things whilst I was out.
Mm.
But yeah, definitely tailoring it to the different areas for sure.
I mean, that's good. I mean, so every different plaster for a different soul, and
Yeah.
each customer's their different language, how you market that to them. So, can you think of anything that you've done in terms of marketing your product that did not work for you?
Over eagerness. No.
Oh yes, you true.
No, because it is a thing. I
yeah.
don't know if it's a word, but it's a thing for me. Because sometimes I am so wanting to help somebody that they mix misconstrued it. Because I have a genuine heart to help. It's about helping somebody, and that's where I get my pleasure, where
I
I'm
know how you
able to
feel.
have helped somebody, and that's what makes me happy. So I'm a different kind of business owner. I'm learning the way of business, but I
Yeah.
also know that I would rather make you happy and have what you need than just try and give you something because I need to make money. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So that's kind of where I go, you know, with this. Where was I leading? Where was that question again?
The
Sorry,
question was
I've lost half of
what marketing strategies or tools or actions have you taken that has kind of
that did
backfired,
not work.
that did not
That
work?
did not work. Yes,
Yeah.
that was it. Yeah. So basically, I try not to be. I'm still enthusiastic. I can't be anything else about anything I do, because I do have a passion for it. And when you have a passion for something, that comes out naturally.
True.
And I'm naturally like this. So please, anyone that comes into my path or talks to me, and Ronnie knows this.
Yes,
So I mean,
100%.
that's just normal. But for people that don't know me, I'm just genuinely like that. But being over enthusiastic, or being too salesy, if you like, I hear that word out there all the time. It kind of makes people scared. And then sometimes they don't even want to pick up the phone to you. They don't want to talk to you. They don't even know what you're calling about. They seem to be psychics all of a sudden. And, that they're preempting what you have to say. Sometimes I'm just calling to say, hey, how you doing? Are you feeling okay? How's your day? But they won't know that until I've brought that across. So that over enthusiasm, sometimes I have to curb myself. But also, I think it's really important to just, take time to listen, because when you're listening, you'll be able to get so much more out of that conversation with that person. It could be they have a business and they need a lot of help, but they don't know how to go about it. I know that I have a web solutions division that can help with that business, to help with marketing and so on. So that's the division that would help that particular business owner or that particular person. But if you're not listening out, or you're not taking that time to actually hear, and it's really important, because I'm reading on these things, so that's why I'm getting more conscious of it.
Good.
You have to actually do a lot more listening and less talking.
Amazing.
And I'm talking now only because I'm answering your question. But that's what you do.
Thank you so much. That was so. The time just flies. Before you know it, 10 minutes just goes. You know. Always a pleasure speaking with you, and thank you. I'm so proud of you. Seriously, I am really
so
proud
much.
of you.
Honestly, you're such an inspiration. I'm not kidding, guys. You don't know half of what this man does. You don't know a quarter, not even a third.
We'll leave that to God. We'll leave that to God to judge.
But he's an amazing guy, and he's such an inspiration. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
honestly,
you, dear.
I'm so proud of you.
Have a good
Just
one,
keep
darling.
doing great,
We
and
will,
have a
we
blessed
will.
week.
And you too,
I
dear.
love
Have
your
a good
family.
one.
Have a great
Thank
week.
you. Bye.
Yeah?
I love you. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Wow, the amazing Esther. You know, I told you, every time I speak to Esther, she always kind of gives me this kind of Right, let's get our next caller on the line. Our next caller. Right, our next gentleman that we've got is Mr. It's amazing. You know, when you're doing this, you're trying to do everything yourself, and you're working, and you're checking this and checking that, making sure everything is working. It's just great. And I want to use the opportunity before I call Chooks, which I'll be calling in a minute. I just want to use this opportunity to encourage you, to let you know something, that when we started this channel, we had so many technical and so many problems because of things I did not know. And the more I studied, the more I learned, the more I paid for classes to educate myself, the better I got at the little things that were giving me problems. So instead of running away from a problem, learn how to overcome it. That's the message from that story. Learn how to overcome it. If we keep running and running and running and running, we'll never get to the end. We'll never get to, to where we need to be, because we're afraid and we're running all the time, and we're trying to kind of look for shortcuts, and we don't want to go through the pain. You know, the pain is painful. Don't let no one tell you that the hustle is real, as they say. The hustle is real, man. You know, it's painful, and you have to go through that. You go through all that struggle. Hi, Chooks. You live on air. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm just telling the audience that the hustle is real, man. We have to go
It is real. Tell me about it. Absolutely. Tell me much about it. Absolutely real.
We have to go to the pain. We have to go to the hustle. We have to go...
That's life.
Giving up.
That's life. That's what it's all about.
That's it, man. That's it. Amazing.
Great stuff.
Tell my audience about you before we crack on. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Chooks, and I'm the CEO and founder of Kent Housing. So we're a property company based in Kent. We're the number one service department company in Kent, and we provide accommodation for like film companies, construction companies, business travelers. We provide a housing association, hospitals, you name it, we provide it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So how do you reach your customers?
So I think one of the key things, I mean, when I saw the topic you outlined today, I thought, wow, okay, this is quite an interesting one, because a lot of our business is about sales, marketing. Yeah. We need to bring customers in, and in various ways. I mean, we reach our customers through, obviously, if you type in service departments in Kent, we're number one on there on Google. So we do a lot of online marketing. We do a lot of social media marketing, LinkedIn. If you go on my LinkedIn page, you see me do a lot of promoting the area. I do a lot of LinkedIn promotion. I also pick up the phone, the most powerful tool. No other tool can beat the phone. I pick up the phone and I call people and I sell over the phone.
People don't like doing that, though. People shy away from that part.
Loads of people are afraid of that. Loads of people are afraid of
rejection,
that.
I think.
they fear rejection. I mean, I'll give you an example today. I had a property investor put up their property, and they needed someone they needed some tenants. They needed a client to rent the property off him, and I sent a text message first to him. I thought, let me just send a text message to him. I sent a text message to him, and I said, no, that's not good enough. I mean, obviously, your mind starts telling you, I mean, although I've been in this game for a long time, you still have you still have that feel. Can I call? Can I not call? And I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna pick up the phone and call him. Picked up the phone, called him, and we've arranged an appointment to meet over on Saturday. And this conversation went well. I sold it to him. And people like hearing people. Yeah, that's the key thing. Regardless of Facebook, social media, or Google, and all, people still like hearing people's voice. And definitely, I always say that the telephone is the most powerful tool, that we use to attract our clients. Yeah.
So because of what you do, I mean, for those of our audience who's watching who might be in a similar kind of business or can relate to what you're doing, because of what you do you just mass market? Do you do like mass marketing or you...
No. Totally not. Totally not. We don't do mass marketing. And it's like in marketing and sales, you first have to identify your market. You need to identify your market. For us, who is our market? Construction. Big construction companies are our market.
Correct.
Business travelers are our market. Hospitals are our market. So you need to identify your niche. Then what you need to do next is to tailor your marketing to your niche. For example, if you look at us in construction, we have a domain called
Don't mention the name. Just
okay. So we have a domain for our contractors. And we specifically targeted that website is specifically targeting construction workers coming to work in Kent and need accommodation. Okay. We have another site for teachers. If teachers relocating to Kent, a relocation website targeting that. So you need to be specific. Like they say, you can't aim for everybody. You've got to identify your market and focus on getting that market in. Whichever way whichever strategy you use to get that in.
I get this a lot from a lot of people who would say, you ask them the question, okay, who's your market? Say, well, who would like your product? Everybody would like it. I mean, what's the danger of that? That's a very common comment.
Don't waste your time. Honestly, don't waste your time. It's like I get a lot of people. I mean, I'm quite. I've got a big following on LinkedIn. And one of my following, what I see a lot of people do is that a lot of people, you have those people having 10,000 followers, 15,000 followers. I mean, for me, I have a less following. But when I drop my fish out there, when I drop the crops out there, I engage more people. I get more sales from them. From that minimum number of people I have. Because they're my right market. I cannot be friends to everybody. My idea is that I don't want to be friends to 10,000 people. I want to be friends to 5,000 people that potentially could buy my product. So that's the way I look at it. You need to form a niche. And your niche must want your product. They must desire your product. It's not about how many people you have on your network. It's how many people potentially could buy your product.
Right. Another lesson that you've kind of hinted on there is why are you marketing on a different platform? I don't want to mention the name again. And not the very popular platforms. Why have you specifically chosen that one to use for your business?
Because for us, what you got to identify is where's your market? Where is your market? Because like I kind of explained to you the last time, I said, I mean, for what you do, I mean, when I see your promotion, your social movement, it suits one platform because you get a lot of response from that platform. And I said, all you need to do is walk that platform, keep working it. But if you take that market to a different platform, it's harder probably to motivate that sector.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So what I tend to find is that you've got to, like, I've got one platform. Yeah. I'm not going to stretch myself to other platforms, and I've got one platform and I work it. Yeah. And you've got to work that platform, keep working it, and you get the results. But you need to identify. You cannot stretch yourself on various platforms and hope everything works. Yeah. It's niche yourself, laser focus yourself, and give 100% at that bit, and you get the results.
One of the things that was raised earlier on was not speaking one language to everybody. Could you just elaborate on that a little bit? When you're marketing your product, what kind of language you speak to the
you see, there are two markets. Yes, totally. You can't speak the same language to everybody. For our market, when I speak to construction workers, I speak budget. Yeah, I speak, the language comes out as budget, and the language comes out as cheap and cheerful. The language comes out as you can come in and you register today, you move in tomorrow. Cool. Yeah, or you register on the same day. Yeah. It's cheap and cheerful. I'm talking about pubs. I'm talking about places you can eat quick, meals and all of that stuff. When I'm talking to the business traveler, they're more of the higher end because they're paying big money. Yeah. You're talking about what comfort they can do with. You're talking about, say, maybe you're providing an office desk for them to work out work from the flat. You're talking about going to the gym. Yeah, saying that you've got partnership with some local gyms. Your language is very much different. Because they understand that language. So you need to be able to measure your language and say, what language would this sector take, or what language would this one listen to? So my business travelers are more sophisticated people. They want, the language I speak to them is very much different from what I speak to the budget to the construction. I won't speak cheap and cheerful to my budget, to my business travelers. I speak luxury. I speak sophistication. I speak, wow, it's home away from home. You'll feel this is the best place you've ever stayed in. My construction guys, I tell them this is budget. This is cheap, cheerful. This is something you can move in quite quickly. So it's different language.
And all this comes about because you have an understanding about your customers or your clients.
Totally. And it never ends. You've got to every day, you've got to learn. For example, you've got to learn your market. You've got to understand your market. It's the same way when I speak to my investors. When I speak to the investors, I speak a different language. I speak to their affairs. Okay, they're coming to me and saying, I'm giving you a £250,000 property. You've got to manage it. This is my life investment. I've got to speak the language and reassure them that, you're bringing this investment to me. I would look after it. There is safety in it. I will guarantee your rent. Your house will be looked after. You can call me. It's all about relationships. You can call me any time of the day. I'm one step away from you. I'm not the usual estate agent type of person that sees you as a number and they move on to the next deal. We build relationships. So you've got to have that language, and you've got to have that system for everybody. For your various markets. You don't speak one language to everybody.
Thank you. Just before we round up, we've looked at one side. I always like to look at the opposite side. Is there anything that you may have done or you have done in the past that did not work for you?
I think massively. It's a very, very good question. Absolutely good question. And one thing about marketing, there's something about the marketing they call test. And one of the biggest things that I tested that did not absolutely work one bit was that billboards. I put up some billboards, big, massive billboards out in the town, seeking for business. But I had that for 6 months, didn't get one dime out of it. No one, there was only about 2 calls, but didn't turn up to any deals. And I scrapped it. So billboard advertising, definitely does not work. I got that. So anyone trying to do
So
that,
if
just
you're
need to
watching out
be
there and
careful.
you're listening, if you're thinking, I've got to get this big billboard, and if you come to think
Uh,
of it, if you got a big billboard there, the person driving past only got 2 seconds, and they can't even
Big time.
before they look at it, they're not going to write the
It's
number down.
gone.
It's gone.
It's totally gone. I mean, and that's why when you look at the big billboards, the guys who really pay for billboards are the big companies, McDonald's,
Yeah, let's not mention their names. Yeah, the
Coke.
big ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I apologize for
Nah,
that.
it's
Yeah,
okay.
but
It's okay.
the big boys put the ads out there,
Correct.
because
Yeah.
they know they can afford it. Yeah, they
Amazing
can
guy.
absolutely
Thank
afford.
you so
Yeah,
much. We've been chatting for
you're
15
welcome.
minutes before you know it, you know.
There, well, I know. It's all good. No, it's
No
nice,
worries,
nice
man.
being on your
So
show.
proud
Always
of
a
the
pleasure.
work that you're doing in the community, the
Always a
food
pleasure, my
bank that
friend.
you're doing. And I saw you went into a big supermarket to
We
get a
did.
basket, and give to
We
the.
did. We
Just
did.
keep
We
doing
did.
it.
So,
Just keep going. You're on fire. I can feel your fire burning,
oh, totally. We're feeding more families. That's the idea. We're feeding more families, and that's where we get inspiration from.
That's
So
it.
we've got the campaign, one shopping bag campaign, and it's giving families food, and we're loving every bit of it. Yeah,
Amazing. Keep up the good
great
work. God
stuff.
bless you, my brother.
Thank you.
Have
Thank
a
you.
good
God
one.
bless you. Bye
Take
bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye. Wow, amazing guys, amazing information, amazing knowledge. It's just been one blessed day. If you can hear from what all the entrepreneurs we're talking about today, everyone we spoke to today runs a business. And from what I can get, and I know them, they run a successful business. So by running a successful business, they must be doing something that's working. So the question is, what are they doing that's working for them? What are they doing that's working for them? They're saying that number one, they need to understand, they take their time to understand their customers. Who are their customers? They take the time, they don't rush. Like Esther was saying, there's cold and warm marketing. The cold calling, you pick up somebody you don't know and blah, 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 blah. It works for some, doesn't work. To me, it's very annoying. If you call me and try to sell me, I just cut the phone off. I'm sorry. It's just very annoying. You might say, yes, they're looking for a leaving. Everyone's different. For me, I just feel that I've got so much time. I don't have so much time to do what I need to do, that if we wouldn't need to have a conversation about a project or anything, let's schedule the time in. So if you send me an email, yes, we can schedule the time to have that conversation. There's the warm marketing, whereby you have a friend or you meet somebody and you just have a conversation, you develop a relationship, and from that relationship, one thing leads to the other. That particular person might not be your customer at the end, but you never know. It might open doors for you to meet other people. That's another way of marketing. So in summary, from all we talked about today, Sarah talked about understanding, selling her clothes to men, marketing using the right social media platform to reach her target audience. Now that is very important. If you are using whatever social media platform you're using, ensure that is the right social media platform for your digital marketing, so that you're reaching the right audience. And if you're communicating that, how are they going to get your product? Think about that. If you are providing a service and you want to provide that service for the whole of UK, and it's just you running that business, how are you going to achieve that? How are you going to achieve, first of all, the money to market to the whole of UK? Mass marketing only works for people who have the funding and the brand authority to deliver it. So if you spend so much money reaching everyone, how are you going to manage the business when it comes in? I've been guilty of that, whereby you branding and you're marketing and you're delivering and you're selling, you're servicing, you're planning to service everyone. That when everyone starts coming, you start to stress because you can't meet up to their expectations. And then they get angry. And then that ripple effect affects your credibility. So be careful how you mass market. Rather, understand the segment of the market you want to target. Understand who your customers are. We said the 5 whys, who your customers are. Understand what your customers like. If you heard what Chooks was saying, he talked about the construction customers, the teaching customers, the travelers customers. We don't call them customers, we call them clients or So each of these people, who are they? What do they like? So when you know what do they like, where would they like to live? Or where do they live, or where do they work? By understanding where they live and where they work, because we talked about Joe Blog earlier on, why should they come to you? What are you offering? I like taking another example from Sarah. She sells men's clothes. She's saying, she talked about the blog that talked about a man asking where do we get baggy trousers for big men? You know, so that's strategically a niche market. So this niche market clients would find you because they know you're offering specifically what they're doing, and you are marketing your product in the market where they are. It is critical you do that, especially for small and medium-sized businesses that do not have enough money to invest in marketing. If you have £100 or $20 or $100, you want to make sure that you use that $100 and that $20 in the right place that you should be using it. You want to make sure that you market that $20 in the right platform to give you the maximum benefit from your investment. And also, when you calculate your costs that you're going to invest in your marketing, you should always think, what is going to be my return on this investment? What should I be expecting to get back when I invest X amount in my marketing? And then we also talked about when is the best time to sell your product. There is a right time to market each product or each service. You can market all through the year if you want, but try and get a peak time. Within the year, try to understand this is the time within the year where most of my customers come to me. So let me maximize my expense, my budget, so that this 3-4 months, I can invest a lot in my marketing that would give me returns that will cover my returns for the whole year. That will be equivalent to my returns for the whole year. So when you've invested a lot of money over 3 months, you generate, for example, £200,000. That £200,000 will cover what you would have raised for the whole year. So the other months of the year, you still carry on marketing, but because you know that your customers would not use you that much during those times, you don't invest that much marketing, but you just keep yourself aware in the market. Look at what your competitors are doing. Look at how they are marketing. Look at what's working for them. Look at what strategies. I want to end by saying this. Today we talked about target marketing. There is nothing wrong in studying your competitor. It's not copying. There is nothing wrong in studying what your competitors are doing. If you're not doing that, then you're just kind of flapping about. If you're not looking at what are my competitors doing, those above you and those beneath you and those around you, if you're not studying what they are doing, if you're not looking at what they are doing, if you're not looking at how they are growing, how they are marketing, and how they're delivering experiences for their customers, and you think, now, if I look at what they're doing, they say I'm copying. It's not copying. It's business intelligence. For you to understand your competitors, how are they marketing their product that is working for them? And then you look at it, you study it, and then you implement parts of their marketing strategy that will work for your organization. You don't just copy the blueprint, because their values and their missions and their ethics might be different. So you can't apply that to your values and your ethics in your organization. My name is Ronnie Jacobs, and I want to really encourage you not to give up on your dream. Let's learn together. There is no better time right now around the world where you can go online, get books, get information that can help you to better your life. So you got no excuses not to educate yourself. The motivation comes from people around you, from the words that you hear. The education comes from your passion for you to achieve your dream. I can guarantee you that we're going to continue this journey together. Please, let's continue to form this family of growth. Let's continue to grow together and encourage one another and support one another and lift each other up. Enough of all this bitterness and unforgiveness and all this anger and all this hating people who are trying to succeed. Put that behind you and just focus on, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to reach out to as much people to help me to achieve it. Not getting angry for somebody who's trying to succeed or trying to work hard to make something of their life. I just thought I'd say that. I love you so much. Please like and subscribe our channel. And if you're watching on TV anywhere in the world, please drop us a message. It's RonnieJShow.com. I love you all so much, and we're going to continue to do this work. We're going to continue to make a difference in the world one step at a time. Never let anyone tell you cannot achieve your dream. There's nothing impossible that you can achieve if you set your mind and your heart and you believe that you can achieve it. Thank you so much, and God bless you.